The Me Too movement first gained global attention in October 2017. A year later, Bill Cosby's behind bars. Harvey Weinstein has been charged with rape, and several Hollywood executives and public figures have been fired.
I have been silenced for 20 years.
It is my civic duty to tell you what happened to me.
Abusers, your time is up.
It all began when the New York Times published an exclusive story detailing a number of sexual harassment accusations against the big-time movie producer Harvey Weinstein. In response to the accusations, Alyssa Milano posted a tweet with the hashtag #MeToo, encouraging women who have been sexually harassed or assaulted to share their stories. The phrase Me Too, used in this context, was created by civil rights activist Tarana Burke in 2007.
This is not just a footnote. It's going to be the start of something major.
Following Milano's tweet, a slew of sexual misconduct allegations started to pour in against celebrities, politicians, and business leaders. We heard a number of accusations from the entertainment industry.
We are here to be respected.
And it wasn't only women speaking out. Actor Terry Crews tweeted about his experience with sexual assault by a Hollywood executive.
This happened to me too.
Household names like Matt Lauer and Charlie Rose were fired from their networks following sexual misconduct allegations.
For the moment, all we can say is that we are heartbroken.
Matt Lauer issued a statement.
Some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized, but there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed.
Rose also issued a statement. I have behaved insensitively at times, and I accept responsibility for that, though I do not believe that all of these allegations are accurate. Women in Entertainment launched the Time's Up campaign and raised millions of dollars to subsidize legal support for women and men who experience sexual harassment, assault, or abuse in the workplace. In January, at the 75th Golden Globe Awards, women and men wore black on the red carpet in a show of solidarity for the Time's Up mission.
So I want all the girls watching here and now to know that a new day is on the horizon.
Athletes spoke out as well. More than 150 women and girls accused former Team USA gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassar of sexual misconduct, and he was sentenced to decades in prison.
My dream is that one day, everyone will know what the words Me Too signify, but they will be educated and able to protect themselves from predators like Larry.
In this past year of the Me Too movement, a number of politicians stepped down as well.
The serious allegations.
New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman resigned over assault allegations by multiple women.
I will be resigning.
Democratic Senator Al Franken of Minnesota resigned from Congress, and more recently, Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh has been accused of sexual misconduct. Schneiderman denied the allegations in a tweet, and Senator Al Franken issued an apology.
I am sorry.
Kavanaugh denied the allegations during a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing.
My family and my name have been totally and permanently destroyed.
Stop the violence! Stop the rape!
Although it has only been 1 year, the Me Too movement has proven to be a strong force, encouraging more and more to speak out about their experiences with sexual harassment.
First of its kind, though, in this case, tariffs that have already been applied, they're going to be waived going forward for a year. This feels like a huge step from China. Is it an olive branch ahead of fresh talks, or is this acknowledgement that tariffs are hurting the domestic economy, or perhaps both here?
I think a little bit of both, but the latter is a big driver here. I mean, you're talking about cancer treatment drugs, and you're talking about the kinds of products you use to feed livestock and in the production of their own agriculture industry. So it looks to me like they're trying to make sure that really important parts of their economy aren't going to be hurt, and the social, frankly, social stability in their country isn't going to be hurt by the higher prices there. Cancer patients and farmers, that's, you know, pretty basic here. So you got two big rounds here. One list, it's a total, just you can waive these categories. It's everything from shrimp seedlings, fish meal for feed, lubricating oil, and the like. The second list, these are also exemptions: whey, a mold release agent, base stock for lubricating oil. Some of these you're going to be able to get a refund on if you've already paid these tariffs. Others, there's just a reprieve going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did note that neither pork nor soybeans, of course, critical.
Politically sensitive, not on that list.
Yeah.
How would you describe your level of trust right now in the president to handle this serious situation? Well, I mean, listen, it's a super serious situation, so I just want to talk very precisely. I mean, there's three issues going on now. One, because there's a vacuum of leadership inside the White House. He's more or less moved out everybody that could potentially disagree with him or offer some level of dissent. Secondarily, when the leader of the free world, who's controlling the largest military in the world, continues to use the words lock and loaded, it's the opposite of somebody like Teddy Roosevelt. You know, it speaks softly and carry a large stick, and this is send out military threats over Twitter. So it's a precarious situation. I think it's very, very serious. You actually, right now, there's no evidence as to what is really going on. You could have Sunnis, being attacked by Shias inside of Saudi Arabia. You know, those drones could have been shipped into Saudi Arabia, and Shias could have launched them from inside of Saudi Arabia. We have absolutely no idea who did this right now. But the notion that we're going to go to war again in the Middle East after the president ran on a strategy of removing us from these wars and these conflicts, I think it's going to be a disaster for the United States if we continue on that path.
You focused in on the phrase locked and loaded. What's the impact of the president using words like that?
Well, the great irony of these words is that they have less and less of an impact because it's a predictable level of irrationality that's coming from him. You would want somebody in that position that had way more temperance. You would want somebody in that position that understood as the guardian of democracy and as a beacon of hope for people. Our grandfathers, through 75 years of good policy, enabled the United States to have the largest military in the world. And so talking like that from that position, in many ways, is anti-American.
Roland Gramajo has quietly lived in Houston with his wife and 5 children for most of the last 25 years. An undocumented immigrant who never lived in the shadows, instead spent the last 15 years working as an outspoken immigrant rights activist. He's a fixture in the Guatemalan immigrant community, and now his family fears they will be torn apart. How worried are you about the future now?
I mean, I cannot imagine. I don't know how am I going to do it.
This month, Gramajo was arrested by Immigration and Customs Enforcement just days after he organized a town hall meeting to tamp down fears about immigration raids. ICE says the arrest was part of a routine operation based on an anonymous tip to remove Gramajo, who had re-entered the U.S. illegally. ICE also says that he has no regard for U.S. laws, that he was basically living a lie the entire time he was living here in the United States. How do you react to that?
He didn't come back to become a criminal. He didn't come back to do anything illegal. He wanted to support his family. You know, is there a crime in that?
In 1999, at age 19, Gramajo was convicted of a misdemeanor burglary charge. He was deported 6 years later in 2004. With his family in Houston, Gramajo illegally re-entered the United States a few months later and settled into a normal life.
And therefore I, Sylvester Turner, Mayor of the City of Houston, hereby proclaim May 17, 2018 as Roland Amor Gramajo Reyes Day in Houston, Texas. Congratulations to you, Roland.
Family and friends say Roland Gramajo is a beloved member of the Houston community. He was honored by the city of Houston for being an outstanding community leader.
Please keep helping us. Don't give your back. Don't turn your back on us. We are immigrants and we need help. If you guys support us, we will continue to do great things for our beautiful city.
Prosecutors and ICE officials say Gramajo has spent the last 15 years living a double life and has no legal status to remain in the United States. But other immigrant rights activists fear the Trump administration is targeting outspoken critics. ICE officials are saying that they don't target anybody based on their advocacy or any kind of criticism of the agency. Do you believe that?
We want to believe these are coincidences. Unfortunately, the more and more we see them, the more and more we feel that some people who are speaking out against the administration or ICE are being targeted by those same agencies.
What do you want people to know about Roland?
Yeah, he's not a criminal. He's a good man. He's a good father. He likes to help. And I mean, a lot of people know about it.